This is a video inspection of the sewer line at 3sabinofarm Road. Inserted the camera from the 3-inch cleanout next to the old sink or the sink that wasn't connected up. Right now we're looking at the city sewer right there. We'll inspect this as we pull it back towards the house. I pushed the camera all the way out to the street. I flushed the toilets a couple of times to get some water flowing through this to help push the camera, and that's the water we see running right there at the bottom of the pipe, which is at 1 o'clock. The camera spins around in the pipe. It does not self-level, so the water is obviously the bottom of the pipe. We'll inspect this as we pull it back all the way to the house. So there's a small piece of feces sitting in the pipe, and this is pretty common with these long runs. Everything doesn't flow all the way out with one flush, but that's obviously left in there from earlier. Okay, we just transitioned from the green plastic pipe, which is SDR 35, to the white Schedule 40, so we're just near the foundation, and shortly we should see, as I continue to pull this back, we're going to see the clean out, which I opened right there. If you look at about 10 o'clock, you can see that's the clean out at the front of the basement there. We'll continue to pull this back now through the house. Okay, and right here we're at the clean out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to end this recording. We're going to go flush the toilet one time with a good amount of paper, and then we'll put the camera back in and see where the paper goes, how far it makes it out. So I'll actually leave the camera running, and you'll see the paper go right by it here. So there's our flush. Wait for the water to stop, and then we'll chase it in with the camera. Okay. So there's a 45-degree turn right there. We're running horizontally underneath the floor. It's another 45. A 45 again to the right. Now we're running underneath the wall between the two parts of the basement. There's another 45 to the right, heading towards the front of the foundation. You can see that water is still running from one flush. Here's where it exits the house. 2 turns, a lot of turns. There's our clean out right there. So the bottom of the pipe is 3 o'clock, clean out's at 9 o'clock. That's at the front of the foundation. And there's our SDR. So everything is making it through the house. That was with one flush. So the best explanation I have is that something got flushed down here that did not dissolve after it was snaked last week, and then it washed itself through. But there is good pitch. If the pitch was bad in this pipe, we'd see water just sitting in the pipe, and you can see there is no standing water, maybe a 1/16 of an inch, but that's just the water from the flush. There's no bellies in this pipe, there's no misjoints. There are a lot of bends and turns. We're going to try one more time with the flush. I'm just going to put a little more paper in it and see what happens. One more time. Give it one more test to confirm. Pulling the camera out. It's out. Okay, that was one flush again with a fair amount of paper. And now we'll go in and confirm where it went. Make sure the paper went through. There's our SDR 35 outside the house. We'll just follow it out. Probably going to catch up to the paper here. It's a long run. I have the counter on now, so we'll see. Oh, there's our paper right there. Look at that. So it's just a situation of a very long run with minimal pitch outside the house. And the paper stops right there. Now I'm going to give it a second flush, and most likely it'll wash through. So, we did just give it another flush. We'll sit here and watch it. This is a 1.28 gallon flushing toilet. Long run. 62 feet from the clean out, not to mention what we got from above. There's the flush, and you can see with that second flush, it pushed it all the way out. So, I guess the recommendation would be to flush the toilets twice. That's going to give it a little over 2.5 gallons of water, and switch to a single ply septic safe paper, which will dissolve much better, which will definitely help it to push all the way out to the street. Let's continue to push this. We're at 80 feet. And there's our city sewer right there, 84.5 feet from the clean out, which is over 100 feet, 120 feet from the toilet, from the first floor toilet. Never mind upstairs. Okay, we'll keep this rolling as we pull it back. Okay, so there was a small piece of paper sitting in the pipe after I pulled it out. It could have been hung up on my camera, but the bottom line is we need to switch the paper and give it 2 flushes each time, and that's going to help push everything all the way out to the street. And that concludes the inspection.